Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Autoweek TV. Let's light up the tires and make a run through the auto world. Porsche has made no secret that it's working on a new super sports car that would rival Ferrari. Now comes news that Porsche engineers are thinking about creating a flat 8 engine for this car. Autocar magazine reports that one key to this effort is the fact that Porsche's flat 6 can't really grow beyond 4 liters in displacement. Also, 8 cylinders is considered the price of entry in the supercar segment. Car designer Gordon Murray, noted for his work on championship Formula One cars for Brabham and McLaren, and the McLaren F1 road car, has joined up with Lotus Cars. Murray has joined the Lotus Advisory Council. That puts him on a team that includes auto biz luminaries Bob Lutz and Tom Purvis. It's worth noting that when Murray moved from South Africa to England in 1969, his goal was to land a job with Lotus. But Brabham snagged him first. Murray, who is 65, continues his own business to build ultra-efficient city cars, the Type 25 and Type 27. And while we're speaking of McLaren, the car maker has launched its Special Operations Group. The main goal of Special Operations is to make it easier for well-heeled buyers of McLaren MP412Cs to customize their cars in practically any way they desire. All right, let's wrap up today with a closer look at the 2011 Volkswagen Jetta in a video driver's log. Here are Jonathan Wong and Greg Migliori.
Hey everybody, I'm Greg Migliori and this is John Wong here for Autoweek magazine. We are test driving the 2011 Volkswagen Jetta in SEL trim. So what does that mean, John?
That means it's the range-topping gas model in the Jetta lineup. So you got alloy wheels and updated stereo and fancy stuff in the interior, basically.
But under hood is pretty much anything but fancy. It's a 2.5 liter, 5-cylinder that makes 170 horsepower and 177 foot-pounds of torque. It's made into a 5-speed manual transmission, which if you like to shift your own, this is a pretty fun car to do that in. It's a good around-town car where you have to you're running errands, you're going places, but the stick shift kind of makes it come alive because you're amusing yourself. You're saying, okay, I think I'm just gonna drop it in a second and squeeze on the throttle here and just have some fun, or hang through corners and kind of feel the body lean and the suspension kind of move a little bit. Steering's a little bit light.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of response off center, but generally you're talking about a pretty light feel.
Right. Holds true for a lot of Volkswagens. The clutch take-up for their manual transmissions, it's kind of odd. It's a bit high. The shifts from the gearbox are a little notchy.
Yeah,
not as fluid as you'd like.
Okay, so we're on the expressway here, and the Jetta is more than up for the task.
Right. How was pickup?
It wasn't bad. Here, let's downshift it into third, kind of accelerate a bit, down into fourth. It's got a nice pickup.
Yeah, the torque is right there in the middle of the band, and you wind it up. I mean, it's only a 6,000 RPM red line, but right in the middle of the rev band, there's pretty good meat there for merging and passing, slower traffic, and very little tire noise. Right. Cabin insulation is pretty good. We're having a conversation. We're not screaming at each other.
No problems.
So your girlfriend give you a hard time without yelling at you.
Right. It's an easy conversation.
Exactly. Like I said, this is a really good chassis.
Right.
It's really solid. It's good through corners, and it's good just rolling down the expressway.
Definitely. What we didn't like so much is the cabin, John.
Yeah, it's a big step back from the previous generation Jetta from a material standpoint. It's all hard plastics all around, while the previous car was all soft stuff. Right. It's just way cheaper inside now, which is a huge disappointment.
Plenty more space than the original Jetta, and as you can see, for a guy who's about 5'9", 5'10", average height and weight, there's plenty of headroom here. There's plenty of leg room. You can get comfortable. You sink into these seats a little bit. Overall, the cabin in the back is quite roomy. Also in the trunk, it's much bigger than the previous generation Jetta, and it's got a huge opening. It's nice and deep, and you can fit a ton of stuff in it, including an associate editor from Autoweek magazine. Now it's interesting, it's bigger, but it's definitely not better. When you look at this car, you might almost do a double take. It looks kind of like a Volkswagen, but it doesn't look exactly like the Jetta you probably see in your mind's eye. That's because they want to sell more of them. It's a very mainstream design. The sheet metal's clean. There's some nice ornaments here like the headlights and the taillights, and as John mentioned, these alloy wheels. The negative is this could almost be a Ford Fusion or a Honda or any number of other cars. It's very mainstream. That's also code word for being very generic.
Extremely generic, but generic is what sells in this class.
We like this car. But I think in general, for the price, it's a good value. This model came in around 23. The negative is, again, the interior and the fact that if you're a Jetta lover, this car will probably disappoint you. If you're new to the brand, which is what they're hoping, you probably will like this car. Overall, I think here at Autoweek, we're a little disappointed with this car. So I'm Greg Migliori, and that's John Wong. That's the Volkswagen Jetta.
Thanks, guys. Remember, you can get Autoweek magazine on your iPad with our app, and there's no waiting on the post office. Plus, you get bonus videos just like that driver's log. Download it today. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, enjoy the drive. Thanks for watching today's edition of Autoweek TV. Be sure to catch all the latest car enthusiast news on Autoweek.com, in Autoweek magazine, and in Autoweek's iPad edition.